Let's go right here. And we're rolling? All right. This is Nolan Davis with Up Social Live, and today we got a special something going on for you. Today we're going to talk about building wealth. I'm always out here pushing entrepreneurship, marketing people in their business, but what do you do with the money that you already have? How do you save that for the future? How do you maximize what you're already spending? And right now, we're here at 4 Point Sheridan, and we're looking at FEG. FEG, we're going to do a presentation this morning with FEG. I got a couple of people here. We're about to get started in a minute, but I want to talk to a guy. His name is Mike. Mike, are you available? Come on over here, Mike. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Let me give you this.
Oh,
so
I feel
Mike,
important.
Right? Mike, you got 2 mics. I only have one. See what I'm saying? Exactly. 3 mics.
Right.
I see how you did that. So tell us what we're going to see today, sir.
Oh, man. I mean, Freedom Equity Group is absolutely revolutionizing the way that people view finance, how they grow and save money, build true wealth. I mean, this is super, super important stuff. And we make it fun, right?
Okay.
So I'm super excited to be here. Obviously, you can see we got a room full of people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man.
All right. So got a room full of people. Who do we have that's going to be speaking today?
Who do we have that's going to be speaking today? Let me see if I got anybody. Well, I know Al's talking up there. I know Wayne Womack. Hey, Wayne. Can I borrow you for a second?
Yeah.
Wayne Womack, been in this industry a very, very long time.
Okay.
Knows a lot of stuff. And he's one of our keynote speakers today. So I want to introduce you to Wayne. Wayne, this is Nolan.
Wayne, how are you, sir?
Nice
Hey,
to meet
if
you.
you take this microphone, we're looking right into this camera right here.
Okay.
Wayne, what are you going to be speaking about today?
We're going to talk about the system.
Okay.
Running our system, because we do have a system in place. So I'm going to break it down. I got a pretty neat PowerPoint. It's going to show you all the different steps of what you have to do to go from one step to the next. And then we got training on between each step. But today it's going to be an overview on our system.
Okay, now what does this system do for you exactly?
Well, it keeps you on track.
Okay.
I mean, you got to know where to start, and you got to know what's the next step. And so if you try to get creative and get off track, it's going to cost you time. Time's our most valuable resource.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So what we're doing is if you follow what we do in the system step by step, you stay on track, you get there quicker, and you accomplish your goals.
Okay, okay. Now, how big is your presentation today? About how long?
It's 20 minutes. That's, we're
About
doing
20 minutes?
yeah.
Okay, okay. Now, for those that are just getting in right now, we're right here with FEG at 4 Point Sheridan. We're going to start in about 5 minutes, the presentation. But I think we have Al Cardi over here as well. Al's going to be doing some of the presentation as well, correct?
Yes. Al and Michael, and we've got several key speakers that are going to be talking about different areas in the system and what we're doing. This morning, it's about the opportunity
Okay.
to change people's lives. So the next 2 hours is going to be talking about what we do to help people and the opportunity we have to help yourself and your family make money.
Got you. So if we can get Al Cardi over here. I don't believe I've ever met Al Cardi.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever met Al Cardi before. Al,
Come
could
on
you
over.
come on? Yes, sir. Thank you, Wayne.
Yeah,
I
my
appreciate
pleasure.
you.
Yeah, you have a
hey,
great day.
I'm
Thank
Nolan Davis.
Mr. Davis,
I've
how
never
are you,
met
sir?
You guy. You're a very handsome gentleman right
Thank you.
here. I like the blue is popping. I went with the pink. You went with the blue.
You get me nice and tall here?
I got you all nice and tall here. Actually, I call Al Uncle Al. Uncle Al, what are we looking at today, sir?
Hey, you know, we've got problems in this country, Nolan. You know, 96% of America retired dead or dead broke. And there's reasons why that happens.
Right.
Okay? They don't know what to do. So this morning, we're going to teach them what to do with their money, how to protect themselves long term, so how they can have a better future for themselves and not become a statistic.
Okay.
Like so many people have.
Okay, so what are some of the keys that you're going to be talking about today?
We're going to be
what
talking
elements for
about
that?
tax-free income.
Okay, tax-free income.
I mean, we got taxable and we got tax-free. Which one do you think's better?
Tax-free.
Tax-free wins every time.
Absolutely,
It's 100%
absolutely.
time. We're going to be teaching people how to protect themselves if anything were to happen in terms of an illness or something like that. We're going to show them how to protect their family properly.
Okay.
And then wrapping it all together, we're going to talk to people about how they can make some more money. Maybe just a little extra money, maybe an extra $15,000, $20,000 a year part-time.
Okay.
Sharing some information with other people while they're educating themselves in the process.
Got you. Now, how long have you been in this industry?
I've been in the industry 33 years.
33 years?
I started when I was 5.
I was going to say, you look like you've been in it about 53. I didn't want to say anything. I mean, so much knowledge. It's a plethora of knowledge. It exudes out of you. So who else do we have that's going to be speaking today?
We've got our chairman right there, Mr. Blumenkemper. Let me get him for you.
Okay,
All right?
Mr. Blumenkemper.
Let me go get him.
Absolutely. When Al comes back, we're going to be talking to one of the chairmen of FEG. So we're talking about the difference between taxable and tax-free income, how to get more of your income to be tax-free, and even how you can make an extra $15,000 to $20,000 a year from what we're going to see today. This is Mr. Wait, let me stand up straight. This is Mr. Bloom, Mr. Ron Bloom. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Look, we got same scarves on almost.
Almost. I got the pink and the blue to bring it all together. You just got the pop and pink. I like that.
We have some power in this room. There's some guys that are in here that can help us go vertical. We've got a couple guys here that have ministries and have 36,000 TV stations are on. 100,000 people in congregations are bringing to look at what we do. I believe that as a business opportunity, this is incredible to look at because a lot of people make a lot of money, but making a lot of money is not the only thing. Doing the right thing for people in the worst times of their life is.
Absolutely.
We've got people here that we paid claims on that were paying $19 a month. 3 months later, we wrote them a check for $480,000 when they got sick. Single moms. They can work from their home. So the opportunity we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about how to build a business and how to build it quickly. So thank you so much, Nolan. Thank you for your expertise in helping us take this thing live, brother. We're proud of you.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So let me see who else we can get over here. Like I said, if you guys are just tuning in right now, this is kind of a little bit behind the scenes before we get started. So what you're going to see is the presentation at the front of the room at some point in time. In about 5 or 10 minutes from now, let me see who else we may be able to pull out. We have a lot of visitors here. We have a lot of presenters here today as well. Let me see what we got going on. I'm sorry? Okay. All right. So they're gonna start in 1 minute. I'm going to make sure that you guys get a bird's eye view of what you're going to see here today. They have some motivational things up there. We're expecting over 100 people here today. People are still coming in. And if you're in the Houston area, this is a 2-hour presentation. We're right outside of downtown Galleria area, somewhere around there. We're at the 4 Points Sheridan. I believe it's 2525 Southwest Freeway. So we're right off the feeder road. Let me see who else we can get. Who else can we get over here, Al? Oh, tell Catherine to come in. Tell Catherine to come. So we're gonna have Catherine come. No, not you. I'm trying to get somebody else.
Ryan Parker, the Vice President of Sales with Melody Gallery.
Hey, what's your name?
Ryan Parker.
Ryan. I'm Nolan Davis.
Hey, Nolan. How
Together
are
we make a great picture. Nolan Ryan.
Nolan.
Absolutely.
I'm a Met fan, so that's pretty good.
So what are you going to be talking about today, Ryan?
I'm going to be talking about Fidelity and Guarantee Life and what Fidelity and Guarantee Life offers to Freedom Equity Group in means of product.
Okay.
very good.
So give me a couple of tidbits of some of the most powerful stuff that you're going to give us today.
Sure. So I'm going to talk about a specific product that we built for Freedom Equity Group called the Synergy Global Advantage Freedom. And I'm going to talk about how the indexes work inside of that product to maximize the cash accumulation for your clients.
Okay. All right. So it's all about protection and building wealth.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Death-benefit life insurance you don't have to die to use.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, cool. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Yep.
All right, Ryan. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and mic up the front, and you guys check it out. See you in a couple of seconds.
can go ahead and share it when you're ready and let your old members see it too. So,
How you doing, sir? Giovanni.
Hey, Nolan Davis. Nice to meet you. Pardon me, guys. Pardon me. Have a seat.
Wait, Tracy Collins should be here in just a second.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
Wait, do I have to do it right now? Right, just give it to me. I give it to you.
I'm ready. I'm ready, and I'll probably if you need it.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
you can also find it on Up Social Live. Up Social Live. You can find it right there. It is. Yes. Nice to meet you. Hey guys, before we get started, really quick, if you could just give me your attention for 1 second. I want to help you be able to share this page with everybody in the cyber world, right, on your Facebook page. So if you go on your Facebook app, if you have a iPhone, smartphone, doesn't matter, go to your Facebook app. In the search bar, look for Up Social Live, okay? It's a Facebook page. Once you get there, you'll see the video of what we're doing today. If you scroll down that page, it should be right there. I'm looking at it. You got it right there? Go ahead, click that, and then there will be a button to share, okay? Got it. Right there. You can go ahead and share that, and then everybody in your network can see it as well. So we really appreciate that. Again, go to Up Social Live, scroll down a little bit on that feed, and you're going to see the video that we're shooting right now, and you can go ahead and share that with the people that you know, okay? If you're friends with Al Carty, you can do the same thing too.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, you are welcome. Yes, sir.
We'll do it later.
Well, here, where's your phone? Tom, you'll do it. No, we have to
All right. We excited this morning? Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let me be the first to say good morning to everybody and welcome you for being here today. I know we've got some new guests here as well. My name's Al Carty. I'm just going to open the session for you, and we've got a great morning planned for you. You know, I always have to start by kind of telling you a little story, because I think stories is what it's really all about, and hopefully you'll all relate to it. But today we're going to talk about some things about money. You know, when you look at 96% of America today, they retire dead or dead broke. Okay, so we have a systemic problem in this country that people either don't make enough money or don't know what to do with it once they do make it. And you know, when I was a 23-year-old kid, and that's going back 30 years, I was sitting in a room. Somebody invited me to go to a meeting because I was in manufacturing. I worked a job like most people, and somebody said to me, would you like to make some more money? And I said, well, I mean, who the heck wouldn't? Yeah, of course I want to make more money. So they invited me to this meeting that had about 6 people in it. And here's what I got out of the meeting, real simple. What they did was they showed people how to get more for less money. So that was pretty simple. That was a no-brainer. But what they said is why I decided to get involved in this type of business. What they said was, maybe you could become financially independent. Maybe you could be your own boss. You could control your own destiny. Have the things you want to have. And every time I say this, the hair on the back of my neck actually stands up because I remember it like yesterday. Because see, here's what it's all about. For me, as a 23-year-old kid, I didn't grow up with a lot of money. My family we had modest means, a lot of love, no money. 4 kids lived in a 1,200 square foot home. My family immigrated from Italy. I was the only child born here. And you know, when my dad asked me, Catherine, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to be my own boss. He said, hey, you know, and Italian family, right? It's like, and my mother would say, you know, just get a good job with benefits. I said, yeah, but Mom, this is when I'm 12 or 13. All the people I see who seem to have a lot of success, they don't work for people, they work for themselves. I said, I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to figure it out. So when I heard those things in that meeting, I bought the dream. Now, maybe that sounds corny to some people, but I bought the dream 33 years ago about having freedom in my life to do the things I want to do, to control my own destiny, to be there at my kids' ball games, to not have to miss things because I had to sacrifice my family to build somebody else's dream. So that's what you're going to hear today. But I wanted to set the tone this morning because that's really what Freedom Equity Group is all about. Now, we're going to show you what we do. We're going to show you how we do it. But I want you to be thinking about things like this here. Are you getting everything you want out of life today? You know, if you look at what I said earlier, 96% of America retired dead or dead broke. Most people today, somebody else's dream. They have a job. So would you agree if most of America has a job, and I'm not saying you should all go quit your job, what I am saying is that it's a problem, right? If you're spending 40, 50 years building somebody else's dream and trying to retire on half of what you couldn't live on, now you understand why we have the statistics we have. I'm not saying this is the only answer, but I think it's a real good one. So pay attention to that this morning and really think about, are you where you thought you were going to be 10 years ago to today? And if not, then really listen, okay? So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get it started this morning. One of our national vice president, he's a pretty good presenter, all right? I think he does a good job explaining to you what we do and how we do it. So if you would, help me welcome Mike Rodriguez, national vice president.
Thank you. Good morning. Oh, come on. It's already 10 o'clock. I know you're awake. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. That's much better. So my name is Mike Rodriguez. I'm originally from the East Coast, and people say I have a tendency to talk fast, and I can't help it, so you're just going to have to listen faster today. But with that said, I wanted just to tell you a little bit about me. I'm 31 years old. I've been in FEG now for a little while, and just a short 4 or 5 years ago, I was stocking shelves at a grocery store. It wasn't a bad job, but it was a job nevertheless. And eventually, after 7 years of doing that, I figured out that I was just selling an hour of my life for $21.50 an hour. And that's an hour that I could never buy back for all the money in the world. That's an hour that I miss spending with my little brother or spending time with my friends. And what you have to understand about that type of environment, that retail world, that grocery store space, people like to eat every day, by the way. That's why grocery stores never close. I had 2 days off a year guaranteed, Thanksgiving, Christmas. But I worked every 4th of July, every Memorial Day, every Labor Day, every Halloween, every Flag Day, whatever it was, I was there because it was important. So when I saw an opportunity to kind of
have my time be my time. And that's what was important to me. I just wanted to do the things that I wanted to do when I wanted to do them with the people who I wanted to do it with. So Freedom Equity Group really became that answer for me, and I'm going to show you exactly what we do, but I wanted to tell you that, look, I'm not anybody special, right? 5 years ago, if you came in and saw me, I would have showed you where the canned beans are and I would have sliced your bread. I knew nothing about this, okay? But here I am today. Yeah. So you can do the same thing, all right? So what we're going to talk about today is what we like to call the financial revolution, because two things, right? America definitely needs our help, and we are revolutionizing this industry, okay? So quick disclaimer, I am not a tax accountant, nor am I a lawyer. I am not here to give you tax or legal advice, but what I am here to do today is to share some common sense solutions to problems that people face every single day, okay? So, really quick, just to set the stage, here's what we're going to do. First thing, I'm going to share some information with you that will benefit you and your family and the people that you know, love, and care about. And secondly, we're going to explain by how sharing and teaching others this information, how it could be financially rewarding to you and the people around you, okay? So a little bit about our company. We were founded by these three gentlemen, Ron Petrinovich, Ron Blumenkemper, Bill St. Clair. One happens to be here. We're very blessed to have him. But they founded this company in 2002, and on this screen you have over 100 years of combined experience in this industry. In fact, during their careers, they built and sold one of the most successful companies in this industry, but more importantly, they shared the profits of that sale with the people who helped them build it. Okay? That's a big deal, folks. That doesn't happen very often, okay? And we've already done it, and we're set to do it again on a bigger stage. Here are some of the preferred partners that we've established over the years, right? We got companies like AIG, American National. We have companies like Fidelity and Guarantee, which you're going to hear from a little bit later. All of these companies are the largest, most reputable, highest rated companies in the world, and they've decided to partner with us. Just to go to show you the power that we bring to the table in this industry, the good things that we're doing, not only for people, but for the industry as a whole. These companies can literally do business with whoever they want, and they decided to do business with us, okay? So, now that you know a little bit about us, Mike, what do you do? What is it that you do? And I'm going to frame it for you like this. I'm going to make it real simple, okay? There are two types of families in this world. You got family A, family B. Family A, they own an asset, and that asset, it's for their heirs, for their kids, it's for somebody else, okay? Family B owns the exact same asset, same thing. But that asset can be used for emergencies, it could be used for college funding, it could be used for tax-free retirement income, it could be used to buy a boat, down payment on the house, pay off debt, take a vacation, whatever it is you want to use it for. And it's also for their heirs, for their estate, for their kids, somebody else. So if you had a choice between family A and family B, who would you rather be? Just shout it out. B. Okay, we're still in the right room. So far I'm doing pretty good, right? Well, what does family A look like? And this is a true story, folks. This is a family friend of mine from Massachusetts. His name's Mike. That's not his picture for privacy reasons. But Mike was family A. Mike owned life insurance with no living benefits. And here's what that means. He was a very successful attorney. Okay? He had his own practice. He had a beautiful house in Massachusetts, wife, teenage daughter at the time, and he owned $1 million worth of traditional life insurance, the old kind, right? Age 44, Mike had a massive heart attack that required triple bypass, excuse me. Now, good news, Mike is still very much alive today. Bad news, Mike almost lost his practice. He lost his home. He was financially devastated as a result of getting sick and living. Why? Because when does life insurance typically pay? So you never really get to benefit, right? You never really get to benefit. That expression, I was better off dead than I was alive. I'm worth more dead than I'm alive. That's where this comes from. Because he had to sacrifice, and he lost everything as a result of him getting sick and living. But now that he's living, obviously he's thankful for that because he can still watch his kids grow up, right? Well, he still owns that $1 million worth of coverage today. But again, he couldn't avoid that financial devastation. So the question becomes, could you afford to live if something like this happens to you? That's a fair question, right? Because if you get sick and can't go to work, who pays your bills? Who pays the mortgage or the rent? Who pays the car note or the car insurance? Who pays for the health insurance? Forget about trying to save for college for your kids or for retirement so you don't have to work till the day that you die. Most families in this situation have a hard time putting food on the table, right? So how long could you and your family survive financially if you were sick and couldn't work? It's a fair question, right? You don't have to answer that out loud, but for most families, it's not very long. Okay? Now, what do we do? What is Family B? Well, this is a true story. This is actually the client. He was featured on Fox Business News, PBS, and some other national affiliates. Okay? Dr. Jonathan purchased an $825,000 policy with us, really for the tax-free income. Okay? After one premium payment, he owned that policy for 1 month. In fact, I think it was less than a month. I think it was 3 weeks he owned that policy. He was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, throat cancer. Okay? 4 weeks after his diagnosis, we sent him a check for $734,738, 100% tax-free.
Yeah.
You think that made a difference?
Absolutely.
Do you think $734,000 would have made a difference for Mike? Would it make a difference for you? Right? Here's the real story, folks. 5 months after his cancer diagnosis, he's cancer-free and back to work. Okay? We change people's lives. He was able to pay off his house. He was able to focus on getting better rather than focus on paying bills. And that's what we bring to the table. And here's why they're so important. Why are living benefits, okay? These are just some statistics from the American Cancer Association, American Heart Association, Bureau of Labor Statistics, things like that. Every 40 seconds in America, somebody has a heart attack or a stroke. Every 66 seconds in America, somebody develops Alzheimer's. The average age of a heart attack, stroke, or cancer in America today is 43. That's scary, right? The average age of bankruptcy is 44. Coincidence? I don't think so, right? Every year, 6 million people will suffer from either a heart attack, stroke, or cancer. Now, 7 out of 10 of those who are affected will live, but over 60%, in fact, the last statistic I read was 63% will go bankrupt as a result of the illness. The number one cause of bankruptcy in America today is a critical illness and the medical expenses that follow. Okay? 63% will go bankrupt. So what are the living benefits? Well, there are 3 categories. First one, you have critical illness, things like heart attacks, strokes, cancer, and as many as other 16 illnesses or injuries where if you were to get one of these, if you were to get sick or hurt in some kind of way, you could be the beneficiary of your own policy. How's that sound? You could access the money today, not because you died, but because you lived. Yeah. And it includes things like major burns, loss of limbs, blindness, paralysis, ALS. Not necessarily you have to get sick from inside. What if you got into a bad car accident and couldn't walk anymore? What if you were in a bad grease fire because you're a cook, right? Think about the Boston Marathon bombing. Only a handful of people died. But a bunch were badly burned, a bunch went blind, a bunch couldn't walk anymore, and they could have all benefited from having this information. It's a big deal, folks, okay? That's the first one. The second one, chronic illness. If you can't perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, things like walking by yourself, feeding yourself, bathing yourself, things we take for granted right now. Or if you have a cognitive impairment, like Alzheimer's. I've been talking for about, 15 minutes. That means at least 15 people have contracted Alzheimer's, according to statistics. You could actually take a benefit while you're still alive, okay? And last but not least, terminal illness. If you got 2 years or less to live, again, take that money while you're still alive, all included at no additional cost. So why is this important? 149 million people in America today currently own life insurance. Less than 3% have living benefits. I don't know. Is that important? Yep. 7 out of 10 people are going to get sick before they reach age 65, yet only 3% of the population even knows this exists. And if you're here for the first time, chances are you were part of that 97% who didn't know. Well, we're glad that you're here and we're glad that we can educate you because, frankly, people need our help. And here's what I mean by that. In the age of social media, I know we're streaming live on Facebook, hello Facebook world, but in the age of social media, at any given time, during any given day, you could log on to your Facebook or your other social media accounts and you can find a little page called GoFundMe, right? And every single day, people are asking perfect strangers for help in their worst times of their lives. And so I pulled these 3 cases down just to give you an idea of the struggle that people go through. Here's a young father of 2 with cancer trying to raise $20,000. So far, raised $3,000, and I know you can't read that, but that says in 13 months.
Wow.
Okay? So if he can't work, he's expected to raise his family on $3,000 a year. Scary, right? What about this mother of 3 who suffered her second major stroke, trying to raise $3,500 just to pay rent for a couple of months? So far, only raised $965. What about this case right here? This young mother, who unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer, has a daughter who's under 3 years old, trying to raise $100,000, so far raised $165, and I know you can't read that, but that says 14 months. So she's expected to live on $100 a year? How could that be possible? Folks, the bottom line is people are still getting sick and hurt, but medicine and technology are keeping them alive through illnesses that they once could never survive, right? But the challenge is, how many people can go back to work after a stroke? How many people can go back to work after a chemotherapy treatment? It's tough. Living benefits can make a huge financial difference. When we educate people on what they got versus what they could have, we could absolutely change their lives. And if we had spoken to any one of these 3 people, their situations would be totally different right now. So I want you to not think about these people in general. I want you to think about the people that you know, love, and care about. Because we all know somebody, friend, relative, somebody close to us, who's had some kind of life-changing event, okay? Now, you get protection no matter what. See, this is what I love about it. See, if you die too soon, well, it's still life insurance, so your family would get the benefit, right? They get a tax-free benefit as a result of life insurance. If you get sick or hurt along the way, for no extra cost, you could benefit. Whether it's a critical illness, chronic illness, terminal illness, doesn't matter, right? You could be the beneficiary. You could take that money today. Now, obviously, the goal is to not get sick or hurt, and obviously the goal is not to die too soon, so what if you live a long, healthy life? We got you covered there too. See, we can show you how to get up to 300% more spendable income through the power of indexing, where you get market-like returns with absolutely no risk, right? And you could have that income come back to you tax-free. How's that sound? Right? Folks, this is the new kind of retirement and insurance. We cannot expect to solve new problems with old plans.
You're right.
So we have to change, right? We got to change with the times. I don't see anybody in here. I'm sorry, Lindsay. I don't see anybody in here with a flip phone, right? We all got smartphones. But just think about that, right? Here's what's really crazy. Did you know that the first iPhone came out 12 years ago? So 12 years ago, nobody had smartphones. But technology advances. Things change. Well, so do financial products. And we have to keep up to date so we can stay ahead of the curve, right? So now living benefits, they're available to you 3 different ways. And let me explain to you what that means, okay? You can rent it, you can own it, or you can retire with it. Okay? So renting it, that's what we call term life. Most people are familiar with this. Why? Because it's the least expensive in the short term. But it's the most expensive long term because, frankly, it's not designed to be enforced when you die. Right? It's not going to be there for your family. Well, that's a good plan because it includes living benefits and it serves a purpose. Most people are going to get sick between 40 and 50. This serves a purpose. But a better one is one that you own. And that's what we call guaranteed universal life. Now, that can give you coverage to any age. It can guarantee the cost to any age with an option to get your money back if you decide you don't need it anymore. And it is designed to be enforced when you die. Folks, that's a great plan, right? But the best one, in my opinion, is the one that you can retire with, okay? And that's what we call indexed universal life. Folks, that'll give you coverage till you're 120 years old. It allows you to put extra money in, let that cash grow, against the market with no risk, right? You can access the money at any time for any reason, tax-free, without penalty, okay? And it is designed to be enforced when you die. Okay. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about that, but before we do, I just want to say, which solution fits your budget? I don't know. That's something that we can work out one-on-one. But here's what I promise you: no matter what the budget, we have a solution. What's important is that you take the steps necessary to go ahead and protect your family. Now, what I like to do, because I'm a huge fan of Indexed Universal Life, and you're going to see why here in a second. What I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce a VP from one of our preferred carriers, Fidelity and Guarantee Life. Ryan Parker has been in the industry for a long, long time. He's absolutely an expert in Indexed Universal Life, and he's going to explain to you some of the benefits and features of what they do and how they partnered with Freedom Equity Group. So if you could please give me a Texas welcome for Ryan Parker.
All right.
Perfect. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Wow, what a great crowd for a Saturday morning, huh? Before I get started, how many of you are brand new to Freedom Equity Group and have never attended an FEG meeting? Raise your hand. All right, give a hand to all of those people raising their hands. You know, that's why FEG is so powerful in this industry, because when you think of the insurance industry, you think of old people, right? You think of not getting new blood into the industry. Freedom Equity Group is the best group in America in bringing people to this opportunity and to this business. And that's why they're such a tremendous partner for any insurance carrier and why it's a privilege to do business with Freedom Equity Group. So my name is Ryan Parker. I've had the pleasure of working for Fidelity and Guarantee Life. I feel like I work for FEG also for 11 years now. So I've done a lot of work with FANG, not FEG. That's a little bit of a mouthful. And what I want to do with you guys today is I want to give you an insight into who Fidelity and Guarantee Life is and what is it that we actually provide to Freedom Equity Group and what do we do for your clients. Okay, that's what we're going to cover today. And so as we go through, you know, Fidelity and Guarantee Life has been around for a long time. We've been around since 1959 and we've done business with FEG for about 5 years now, Bloom, 4.5, 5 years now. We actually started this relationship in Galveston, Texas about 4.5 years ago, and it's been a tremendous ride. You know, the first year FEG did business with us, they did over $8 million of production with us in less than a year, okay? And they've been growing every single year since then to becoming our #1 marketing organization in the entire country, okay? Nobody does more production with F&G than FEG. That's how powerful this organization is that you guys are with. You know, you guys are our #1 provider and our #1 person that we do business with. So we're really appreciative of that relationship. And I'll kind of explain to you as I go through this presentation what that offers you guys, what this partnership offers you that nobody else is going to be able to offer you. So let's kind of get into it. Who is Fidelity and Guarantee Life? Some of you maybe have never heard of us or don't know exactly who we are. We were recently purchased in November of 2017 by an organization named Blackstone. Has anybody ever heard of Blackstone Financial? Raise your hand. Okay. Blackstone is like an investment company out of New York City, okay? They started 30 years ago and they had $1 billion in assets. Today, they have over $453 billion in assets. Is that a lot? It's pretty good growth, right? Let me just, one statistic really sticks out. They are the largest holder of real estate in the entire world. Isn't that something? The largest holder of real estate in the entire world. And they decided that there was one market they did not have a presence in. And that market was the insurance market. And so what they did is they purchased us and we're going to be their entry into the insurance industry. Is that pretty powerful and pretty good? We now have the backing of one of the largest financial institutions in the entire world behind us. Okay, and they don't get into a business to lose, do they? They get in to win and to take it over, and we get the pleasure of being their vehicle of doing that. And so we are really thrilled about this partnership, and it's already given us tangible results in terms of ratings increases, in terms of hiring new individuals, and in terms of strategic relationships in order to add value to our products, right? Those are the things that matter: rating, product, and service. That's what we do for you guys. That's how we earn your business, is by those 3 categories. Okay, so let's kind of talk about, you know, what is Index Universal Life? You know, Mike did an awesome job, didn't he? Kind of explaining what the new style of life insurance is, right? Have you guys ever heard somebody say you have the old kind or the new kind, right? I mean, we've used that term so many times, but it truly is the new kind of life insurance. It really is life insurance that you don't have to die to use. Right, and that's the best kind, right? It's always hard to tell somebody you need to purchase something so that somebody after you die gets the benefit of it, right? That's not an easy sale ever, even though you are protecting your family. But how about we give you some benefits as well? So what are the features of Index Universal Life? Have you guys ever heard of whole life before? You know, I'm sure somebody in some way in your life has probably come through and asked you about whole life if you guys wanted a whole life plan. Well, Index Universal Life is kind of similar, except instead of overcharging you on insurance and paying you dividends, and that's how you get to grow your cash, you get to grow your cash via transparent indexes that protect you from market volatility. Okay, what if somebody sat down with you and said you can participate in all of the growth of the market, but when that market goes down, you participate in 0 of the loss? Does that sound like a pretty good deal? That's what indexing is, and that's what Index Universal Life is. You know, Bloom was from the beginning when Index Universal Life, late 90s or mid 90s, when Index Universal Life was created, Ron Blumenkemper was right there at the beginning of it. You know, and the way they did this is they said, you know, we need to tie growth into indexing and into marketplaces, things that people understand and things that people can follow. Because ultimately, you need to keep it simple, right? And you need to be able to know what you are purchasing. So let's kind of talk about Index Universal Life. Again, we are buying a life insurance product, right? And the most important part of it is when you pass away, your family is taken care of, right? That has not changed. That is still the staple of what a life insurance product is, wealth transfer. But there's so many more benefits, just like Michael said. The power of options. You have different indexes that you can put your money into that are going to give you real tangible growth so you can grow cash inside of a policy. And the power of growing cash inside of a policy is that cash is yours and you can access it completely tax-free. And I'll explain what that means in the next slide, and I'll explain to you how that kind of relates to your world. Okay, tax-free income and living benefits. Those living benefits are real. You know, Mike was telling those stories of benefit checks that are getting paid out. You know, Wayne Womack is here in the crowd today, and 2 weeks ago, we just paid one of his close family friends, member of his church. This lady had a stage 2 breast cancer incident that happened. She owned the policy for about 3 years, a $350,000 death benefit, and we just sent her a $176,000 tax-free check 2 weeks ago. Okay, those living benefits are real. That's not a fluff story. They really do change people's lives, because when you're fighting a cancer or a disease, the last thing you want to worry about is the financial burden of having to fight that disease, right? Or not being able to work. Being able to get a check for $176,000 completely tax-free puts your mind at rest so you can actually go to work and beating that disease, right? Or that illness. Okay, those are real benefits, and people are really benefiting from it. And by the way, when she beats that, she doesn't have to repay that $176,000 tax-free. That is her money. Okay, you don't have to repay that back when you win. Okay, so let's talk about the Living Benefit Crusade. You know, Freedom Equity Group, they've kind of created this Living Benefit Crusade. They're the pioneers of this concept. What is Living Benefit Life Insurance? FEG is really the one that talked about it. And I love to put it in this simple diagram. What is it that we sell? You know, my boss always puts up a picture of a Swiss Army knife up there, because the life insurance product that you guys provide and that F&G helps you guys provide is like a Swiss Army knife. It does so many different things. It's such a great tool because it does so many different things for so many different people. It's not a one-trick pony that's geared toward one style of client. It really is built for a bunch of different styles of clients and can be tailored for exactly what their needs are. And so I love to put this diagram up there because it really simplifies what it is. Number one benefit that we provide for our clients is wealth transfer death benefit, right? We are protecting the family should the breadwinner pass away, right? That's the number one most important thing. But we're also growing cash inside of this life insurance. So we're not growing cash through dividends being paid back because we're overcharging life insurance. We're growing cash tied to tangible indexes that you can follow the growth on. Okay, and indexes like the S&P 500, indexes like the Dow Jones, indexes like Barclays Bank, and I'll get into some of those indexes, okay? And they have real powerful growth potential that, again, you can track, and it also protects you from the volatility of the marketplace. You know, how many of you in here in 2008 lost some of the money that you've been saving your whole life? Raise your hand, right? A good number of you. The S&P 500 dropped 39% that year, okay? And if you had all your money in the stock market, if you lose 39%, what do you have to do before you start gaining money again? You have to earn 39% back, right? If you had an index product, when that market dropped 39%, guess how much you lost? Zero. And with an F&G product, you would have actually gained 0.25% that year. And so in 2009, when the market starts climbing again, you don't have to regain what you lose. You just keep building off of what you've already gained, right? If you think about how the stock market grows, right? You've all seen these charts. It goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, right? You got to keep regaining what you lose to keep gaining. With an index product, you go up, the market goes down, you stay the same. The market goes up, you go up. All it is an inclining staircase. That's all an index product is. It's not what you gain, it's what you don't lose. Okay, that's the most important thing about investing or anything, right? It's not what you gain, it's what you don't lose. But you also can access your cash completely tax-free. Now, does that sound pretty good? How many of you have ever heard of a Roth IRA or a Roth 401k? right? And all the benefits of a Roth product, right? You gain it, you pay your taxes in the beginning, you pay your taxes on the seed, and when that amount grows, you no longer have to pay taxes when you retire, right? Isn't that a great concept, Roth products? But did you know the government restricts how much you can put into a Roth, how much you can take out, and how much you can earn to even contribute to a Roth, right? Okay, so here's what the government tells us about a Roth product. You cannot put over $5,500 a year into a Roth product. That's the max you can put into it, right? Why do you think that is? Because the government wants to control where your retirement income is probably coming from, right? So they can tax it, right? They also say that if you make over $110,000 a year, you can no longer contribute to a Roth product. Okay, and there's many of you in here who make more money than that. So you guys aren't even eligible for a tax-free retirement program through the Roth, right? And they also say you can't access that until you're 59 and a half without penalty, right, with the Roth product. With the life insurance product, you get all of the tax benefits just like a Roth, but you can put as much money as you want into it as long as you qualify financially. Okay, you can access your cash without penalty through tax-free policy loans whenever you want. Okay, and you can put as much as you want into it and make as much money as you want and still contribute to it. Does that sound like a pretty good deal? It's all the benefits of a Roth without any of the restrictions. All you have to do is financially be qualified. That's it, and medically be qualified. Does that sound like a pretty good deal? Why don't people talk about this more? Right? Is that probably what a lot of you are thinking in here? Why have I not heard about this before? It's in the U.S. tax code. Life insurance cash is not taxable. Okay? And it's something that Congress, every single year, somebody in Congress tries to change the tax law so they can actually tax life insurance policies. And it gets knocked down every single year because the insurance industry doesn't let it happen. Okay, it's an incredibly unknown secret how these life insurance policies can benefit you beyond just a death benefit, and that's what Freedom Equity Group does, and they are the best in the industry at doing it. Okay, but on top of all that, you get the living benefit protection as well, right? What if you got to sit down with a client and you say, I'm protecting your family from financial burden should you pass away. I'm giving you tax-free retirement income that protects you from volatility in the marketplace, and if you suffer a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, you are financially secure.
Yes.
All in one product. That's it. That's the sale right there. That is what they are selling every single day. Is that a pretty cool solution for families across America? This is not an affluent product that somebody has to make a lot of money to have. This is a product built for middle America. That's who this is product for. It's for middle America, not for somebody. I mean, certainly people who make a lot of money, they have these products as well. Any of you guys college football fans? Anybody watch college football? Jim Harbaugh is the head coach of the University of Michigan. You guys probably have heard of him if you watch football. He just restructured his contract with the University of Michigan, and he's having them put in over $1 million into an IUL every single year as part of his contract. Right? He knows what he's doing. He's having them put in a portion of his contract now. $1 million goes into an IUL. Okay? Because he knows what he's doing. He knows the tax-free benefits of that. Okay? So what is the partnership? That's a pretty good deal, right? That's a broad overview of what this solution is and what Freedom Equity Group does. Living Benefit Crusade. It's right there in that chart. If you can master that story, you can master this industry. But what does the FEG and F&G relationship mean? What is it? So, Bloom and Petro and Bill, they formed a strategic relationship with our organization. And what that has done is it's given them access to an exclusive distribution that they can basically are. Okay, and what that means is that we give you guys products that nobody else in the industry has access to sell. Okay, and we give you guys people inside of our company who are solely dedicated to servicing your business. Okay, so here, we talked about this yesterday. We had a big training boot camp yesterday, and we talked about this. If you look at the growth in the insurance industry in general, it's not coming from the captive agencies, the companies that you've all heard of, right? The big companies that everybody knows. It's not coming from there. It's coming from network marketing organizations like Freedom Equity Group. That's where the growth in this industry is coming from. We've recognized that as an organization, and that's why we've given you guys your exclusive distribution so that we can tailor the way that we do business with you and tailor the products that we offer you for exactly what your client base is and exactly what your market is. And that's the power of the FEG and F&G relationship and what they've created. So what they've created is they've created this exclusive distribution with F&G, and what that means is that we have individuals in our home office whose sole job, and the reason why they have a job, is to get your business issue paid. That's pretty neat, right? There, when you call into Fidelity and Guarantee Life, When you call into Fidelity and Guarantee Life, there are 10 people whose sole job is to work on your business, and you're going to get to know all 10 of those people so that when you call, you're not sitting on hold and you know the person that you're talking to, right? How many times have you been in a business and you're offering a product and you're trying to call their customer service line, you have no idea who you're talking to, and they have no idea what you're talking about, right? That doesn't happen with F&G because we have people specifically at our company who work with you to get your policies issue paid. Okay, so that's the number one benefit to having an exclusive distribution. The number two benefit is we get to make products specifically geared towards you. Okay, and we have two products you guys get to sell. The Freedom and the Gold is what we call it. And by the way, you'll notice that first name I said, the Freedom. We named that product after this organization because of the power you guys have within this type of market, okay? So when you talk about, what does exclusive products mean? So at our company, we have 33,000 contracted agents. Okay, that's a lot of people who could do business with us. Okay, only 2,300 or 2,100 of those agents can sell these two products. Okay, and by the way, those 2,100 outperform the other 29,000. Is that pretty crazy? They do more production. That tells you the power of this model and this story, right? And so you guys have something now in your arsenal that no other insurance agent can go out there and sell, right? Nobody can come into your clients right behind you and say, I got that product also. You have a solution that nobody else has access to, okay? So let's talk about one of those products. We just came out with this product 3 months ago. It's brand new. Synergy Global Advantage Freedom is the name of the product. And we named it Freedom, well, because of Freedom Equity Group, but also because what are we selling? Financial freedom, right? We're talking tax freedom, all these different things that we're giving to clients, these peace of mind, freedom of peace of mind, those types of things. That's why we named it Freedom. And if we talk about what are the key features of the Freedom product, well, number one, it's really built for your cash accumulation and to take out tax-free income. It's really built as a retirement supplement type of plan, right? Using life insurance, not just for a death benefit, but for all the other features inside of it. And the big key to it, remember I told you I was going to talk about what this new ownership group means and the strategic relationships we're able to form to really beef up our products. Well, we were able to go into Barclays Bank. Have you guys heard of Barclays before? One of the biggest banks and financial institutions out there. And they gave us a 4-year exclusive window to sell their best index. We're the only company in America who has access to this index. And they gave it to Fidelity and Guarantee Life, and we put it on this product that's exclusive to Freedom Equity Group. So there's an index out there, okay, that Barclays said, FNG, we believe in you, and we're going to give you exclusive distribution rights to this index. And we're able to offer you this index with no cap, no spread or no fee, and 190% of whatever it returns. 190%, what does that mean? That means if it comes back at 4%, you get 190% of 4%. Right? What if I told you that if you give me $1, I'll give you 2 back? Would you give me that $1? That's kind of what this is, right? All day, right? That's a no-brainer. Okay, and let's kind of talk about what the power of 190% means, okay? If you think about those of you who've been in the business, there's some people out there who offer S&P. Everybody has ever heard of the S&P 500? That's probably the most popular index on these products. Every product's going to have an S&P 500 index on it. And some carriers have an uncapped index on the S&P. And typically with the S&P, what you're going to pay is a 2 or 3% spread to have that uncapped option, meaning you can participate in all the growth of the S&P, but we're going to charge you 2 or 3% off that growth, meaning if it comes back at 10%, you're going to get 7%, right? So I put this hypothetical solution or situation up here. What if you had an IUL and you had all your money in an uncapped S&P 500 strategy and they charge you a 2% fee to be in that strategy? And that S&P came back at 9%. That's a pretty good year for the S&P 500, right? 9%. I think over the last 25 years, the S&P's averaged about 8.6. So 9% is a little better than average. You would have gotten a 7% return on your money that year. Is that pretty good? That's pretty good. Now, what if you had your money in a Barclays uncapped, no fee or no spread index, and you got 190% of whatever it performed at? And that index only grew at 5%. You would have gotten 9.5% that year. Okay, the power of the Barclays is it doesn't even have to perform that well to get you a big return. Okay, you don't have to rely on high market performance to get a big return because you get 190% of that growth. And that's the kind of relationship and kind of value add that we're going to get with this new ownership group is that now we can go into institutions like Barclays or even Blackstone, all these institutions, and we can start having creative, innovative solutions in our products that nobody else does. Okay, that's really the power of this new strategic relationship that we have. Okay. And by the way, they bought us for $1.8 billion. Just to kind of sidetrack a little bit, we were sold in 2008 for $350 million in 2008, and this new ownership group bought us last November for $1.8 billion. They did not buy us on the cheap to flip us, did they? You don't buy something for that much just to flip it. They bought us to invest in this industry and to really blow out the insurance industry, and they're going to do it through Fidelity and Guarantee Life. Okay, and I like to show this chart as well. And what this chart is, it's an 11-year look back of the different indexes that are inside of our product. We got the S&P, we have the Dow Jones Real Estate, everybody like real estate, and we have the Barclays. Those are the three indexes that you have available inside of our product. And by the way, our cap on the S&P 500 is 15.5, and from what I've been told, there's nobody that high in the marketplace. We have a 15.5% cap on our S&P. And what that means is that if the S&P goes up 20% in a given year, you get 15.5. Okay, that's should we just cap the growth. And typically, I think on S&P caps, they're usually looking at about probably 11 to 13%, and ours is 15.5. So you get a little bit more growth with that. And that's why that Barclays uncapped is so powerful with no fee, because you get all of the growth. Okay, so the S&P over the last 11 years, 8.9%. That's pretty good. I think everybody would take 8.9%. And if you look at 2008, 0.25 was the return that year. And remember what we lost in 2008 in the S&P? 39%. It's not what you gain, it's what you don't lose, right? But let's talk about the gains too. If we come over here to the Barclays, in 2017, you would have gotten a 23.37% return that year on your money. That's what the allocation would have gotten. In 2014, 27.19%. Okay, these are real back-tested data of what these indexes returned at. And by the way, we had the Barclays on our annuity product last year, so they actually saw that 23.37% return. Okay, that's amazing, right? I mean, that's outstanding growth and an uncapped option, and you don't have to pay a spread to participate in the growth. And by the way, you get almost double of whatever it comes back at, okay? And then living benefits, of course. We have critical and terminal illness on our products. We have the heart attack, stroke, and cancer, and then end-stage renal failure, and 6 other triggers as well. And what this basically means, that when you write a policy for a client, let's say it's a $300,000 policy, and they suffer one of these conditions, okay, we're going to pay out a portion of that death benefit completely tax-free so they can pay for their medical bills. Maybe they don't even have to pay for their medical bills, but they want the cash and then go on those dream vacations or do whatever they want to do with that money. That is their money. We're essentially accelerating the death benefit while they're alive because they suffered one of these conditions. And how many in here know somebody who's suffered a heart attack, stroke, or cancer? Everybody in here, right? And that you're protecting yourself from that. And that is a no-cost rider. That's just built into the policy. And that might be the most powerful part of the whole policy, right? And we have terminal illness, which is 24 months to live. And then Mike was talking about the chronic care. We had 2 out of the 6 of the ADLs. We're going to add that to our product by the end of the year as well. So we'll have all 3 of those living benefits as well. Okay? Now, special announcements. So that's our product solution. That's pretty good, right? Yeah. So what do we do? What does this exclusive distribution give for you guys? Well, again, we've been doing business with FEG for 4.5 years now. The partnership has been outstanding. I don't think any of us would have any complaints from either side of the aisle with our partnership. And what we decided to do for FEG is we decided to give you guys an exclusive trip where just FEG agents can qualify for it. Okay? Now, FEG also has a trip, and I believe you guys are going to Hawaii this year, Bloom. So FEG's got a great Hawaii trip. I think the Grand Hyatt in Hawaii is where FEG's going. And FNG Production counts toward that trip as well. But what we wanted to do as a partnership and to show thank you to you guys is give you your own trip. Okay, and we've done that for a couple of years now, and here are the locations we've gone to. The first year we did it, we went to New York City. We stayed at the Plaza Hotel with 10 couples. We had a private VIP tour of the World Trade Center. Then we had the best row in the house for Phantom of the Opera. Okay, that was the trip. Last year we stepped it up a little bit. We did 10 couples again, but we went to the Four Seasons Punta Mita. Who doesn't like going to Four Seasons? Those are the best resorts in the entire world, right? And then this year, what we decided to do is we decided to ramp it up even more. We decided to make it for 20 couples. So 20 couples can qualify, and you'll see the qualifications right here of how to qualify. It's a year-long contest, so it started May 14th, and it goes through next June. So if you haven't done business with F&G, you're only a month behind, so you will catch up in no time. The the contest is just getting started, and we haven't announced where the location is going to be yet. But I'll give you a little inside information, okay? When we decided to, and I might get in trouble because it's on Facebook Live, so hopefully my boss is not listening. But, so we decided that we're going to double the amount of people going on this trip, right? And the first thing you would think of, well, maybe the quality of the resort will probably go down a little bit to balance out the cost, right? Well, we made a commitment to FEG that we will not sacrifice the quality of the trip as well. And I know that my boss just did a site visit last week to the Four Seasons in Costa Rica. And as long as that site visit went well, I imagine we'll probably announce that as the location in the next couple of weeks. Okay? So that's the first thing that this strategic relationship gives us. But what else have we done? Advance on submission. How many of you have ever been in this industry before? Maybe you got out of the industry and you wrote a couple of policies, but it took you a month or maybe a month and a half to see your first paycheck. Has that ever happened to any of you? Or you've recruited somebody to the business, they've wrote a couple policies, they were all excited, and it took a month or so for them to get their first commission check and they just lost interest in the business, right? That happens. And so we as a company decided, and FEG brought to us as well, that what if we were able to advance commissions on submission of an application and not just have to wait on those policies to go issue paid? Okay, now, that is a very rare thing in this industry, that a company is able to do that for a provider. And I think if you guys look around at competitors and what they do, not a lot of them offer advance on submission. That's a pretty special thing. And the reason why we were comfortable doing it for FEG, who by the way is the only group in America that we are offering this to, okay, is because of that 4.5-year partnership, and we believe in the leadership and the people behind this organization, and that's how we were able to do this. And here's how it works. Okay, if you write a piece of business, okay, and let's just say it's $1,000 a year case, we're going to advance on submission 35% of your commissions the next week. Okay? So no longer do you have to sit around and wait for a month or maybe even a little bit longer for that policy to actually go on the books and get cleared through underwriting to get paid. Now you can bring people into the industry, you can show them the dream, and you can show them those numbers of what they can earn in this business, which are very real, and they can tangibly see that result within a week, okay? And then when that policy goes issued and it's on the books, you're going to get another check for 45% of your commission. So you've already been paid 80% of your commission now. Then the rest of the 20% is as earned, as we say, and you'll get that by the end of the year. Okay, so now you guys are going to be able to recruit to this vision and to this dream, right? Because it really is. You are really your own boss. You really create whatever you want with this opportunity. And now when you bring people to join you in this dream, they can actually see the fruits of their labor and they can actually get paid on it within a week. And that is unlike anything else in this industry, and it really sets you guys apart from a competitive advantage with other groups. So that is all I have, guys. What I want to just say is I really, really, really appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's been a great trip so far. We did a great 2-hour boot camp yesterday for those agents who have been with FEG for a while, kind of introducing FEG again. And again, I just want to thank you guys for everything. And Al, I hope we get to do this again sometime.
Brian. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, I know that was a little numbery up there. Just want to, but it's important for you to understand. Okay, you need to understand how it works. But let me summarize it for you. I'm a little bit of a more keep it simple type person. Here's what I heard. Right? We cover you if you get sick. We cover you if you die too soon. And we cover you if you live a long time. Right? So I can tell you the box that I picked, live a long time. In fact, NASA just this morning told me how I need to raise the bar to 120, okay? So here's the point, all right? But let me summarize Index Universal Life for you. It's really, really simple. Where else can you put money and get market-like returns with absolutely no risk and have all the money come out to you tax-free, and if you don't use it all, it goes to your family? Okay? When you look at this 9.5% Barclays thing, well, we didn't say tax-free yet. What's the tax equivalent? For those of you that are a little bit more of a thinker in here, if you're in a 40% tax bracket, I'll help you out. That's 15.8%. So that's tax-free, folks, we're talking about, okay? So there is no question we got the product. But see, let me ask you this here. So if you have the opportunity to put money in market-like returns with no risk, meaning you can't lose it. It can grow, never go down, and have it all come out to you tax-free. How much do you want to put in that? A lot, right? Yeah. Let me tell you what it's like. This is a little bit of an offhanded analogy, but I think you'll get it. Anybody ever go to a casino? I've been maybe once or twice, okay? I just kind of walk around there. No, seriously. Here's what it's like. You go to a casino, and they stop you at the door, and they say, okay, what's your name, sir? Mike. Listen, today, you can bet as much as you want, okay? Doesn't matter what happens. When you leave, we're going to give you all your money back. Can't lose. That's Index Universal Life, in my opinion. You can't lose. So if you put it all in, I mean, no way your money can go down, right? So that's a great thing. But we have a little problem. America's in a financial crisis. And the fact is 55% of Americans did not save a penny last year. 50% of them are working paycheck to paycheck. So as great as what we talked about is, Bill and Mary don't have the money, right? I mean, they can't afford it, right? They're living paycheck to paycheck. Now, here's the part that's probably the most nauseating statistic I can show you. 70% of Americans hate their job. Gallup poll. So think about it. Think about this now, Mike. 50%, and look, I'm not knocking jobs. I just don't want one. I just want you to understand that 50% of America are living paycheck to paycheck, and 70% of the people who have a job don't like going there. That's got to be total misery. I'm not making enough money, but I got to do it anyway. I got to do it anyway. No, you don't. There are options, okay? We're going to talk about that. Why do people need to make more money? Well, look at inflation. This is real simple. You know, we could talk about Dow Jones. I'd like to talk about what it costs to get a new car. You know, in 1980, you could get a new car for $7,000. Today, it's, $33,000. That's 365% inflation. What about a home? An average home back in 1980 was $62,000. Today it's over $400,000. That's over 540%. But look at the average pay in America. It's only gone up 252%. So what is that? Are we going forwards, or are we going backwards, or are we going forwards? Right? So part of the story of inflation is true, meaning your dollar went a lot further years ago than it does today. Part of that's true, but the other part of it is we as individuals have to do something about it, right? How do we do that? So, question is, are you where you thought you were going to be 10 years ago? That's a hard question, right? So you think about what you were thinking about 10 years ago and say, well, here's what I want my life to look like in 10 years. Is that the picture? Okay, if it is, that's good. If it's not, well, what are the next 10 years going to look like? You know? I mean, I heard a long time ago that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting things to change. Right? I mean, so if we're doing the same old thing, we're building somebody else's dream the same old way, and we don't make any changes in anything we're doing, what's going to change? Absolutely nothing. Okay? Nobody's going to hit the lottery. Nobody's going to, unless you're going to inherit a bunch of money and you know that's coming, right? Well, what's going to change? Fact is nothing, right? But it is time for a change for most Americans today. And what we feel we offer is a risk-free opportunity. You know, and I think back 33 years ago when I first got into business, and somebody says, you can make a great income, you could travel. I mean, that's, be your own boss, provide for your family. All I heard was the word freedom. That I didn't have to show up at a place at 7 o'clock, go eat lunch at 12, go home at 4, spend more time with my employer than I did with my own family because I spent 40 or 50 hours a week seeing them, and I had no control. And the flip side, because I'm kind of an all or nothing guy, well, you know what, Tracy, maybe I want to work 15 hours in a day. I can't do that. I can't go into my job and say, hey, listen, today I'm going to work 16 hours. But I'm not coming in Wednesday and Thursday. It doesn't work like that, right? So I wanted to be able to control that. And when I heard that 33 years ago, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I didn't know if I could do all that, but I did understand, show people how to get more for less. I do understand
Well, you can have the old one or the new one. You can have tax-free or taxable. Which one's better? See, to me, it's all simple stuff. It's the same thing everybody wants. We just got to get out there and share it. What's the best way to do that? Distribution. No major investment here. You don't need any experience because we'll train you. In fact, we'd rather train you. Because when you come with bad habits, we got to fix all that. Okay? It's kind of like if you play golf, right? If you have to play golf, you're better off teaching a novice than somebody says, yeah, I know how to play. Hey, that's going to be a long day. Right? Because you got to fix all that. There's no loss to say. So even though we're talking about jobs, I want you to have a paradigm shift with your job, if you have one, right? What if your job was financing your business instead of your job paying your bills? What if you thought about it that way? Hey, look, you know what? I'm going to start this part-time business, and I'm going to use my job to finance it until I get my business off the ground. See, now that gives you a whole different perspective when you go into work on Monday morning, because now that's just your financial means to build your business. Does that make sense? Okay. So, of course, unlimited territory, high quality, and we have all the training. We also have a system. Now, Marshall Thurber says, that 94% of all failures are due to lack of a system. Okay? So to me, I'm a statistics kind of guy. So if 94% fail without a system, I better have one. Right? I better have one because my probability of failing is to be real high if I don't. I mean, many of you heard of McDonald's, right? Do they have a system? Sure they do, right? Does the system work every time? Yes. Pretty much, right? I know it's all there. You never see a for sale sign in a McDonald's building or restaurant, right? But on the same token, every time somebody drives by McDonald's, they're saying no, aren't they? Right? So we're going to drive by McDonald's today, probably somewhere, and if we don't go in, we're saying no. I don't see any of those people on the sidewalk crying. Oh my God, another one went by, it didn't stop. Oh, another one. The system works, but it doesn't mean it's going to work 100% of the time with 100% of the people, right? So that's why you have to have lots of cars going by, and every once in a while somebody comes in. Kind of like our business, isn't it? We talk to a lot of people. Some people get it, some people don't. Everybody understands living benefits, though, okay? So our system, I mean, it's got to be proven. It's got to be profitable, it's got to be predictable, and it's got to be duplicable, right? I mean, if you're the only one that can do it, you're going to have a very small business. It's going to be simple. It's almost got to be a no-brainer, right? And that's what I believe we have. Now, look, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. There's some things here you're going to learn, but you don't need to learn them to get started. What you need to know is living benefits versus no living benefits. Okay, pick the right one. If you pick the one that's death insurance, well, I'm not going to walk away from you. I'm going to run away from you because whatever you got, I don't want, right? I know. So our system is very, very simple. Here it is. We help you. We identify who you want to help, and we go help them. Yep. It's in a nutshell. We help you. We identify who you want to help, and we go help them. And it's ball game over. Do it over and over and over, and you'll be successful. Okay? Earn while you learn. We actually pay you. Every time I've ever asked somebody to trade me on something, I always had to pay them. Here, when you make a decision or a commitment to come to work with FEG to build your future, we actually pay you while you train. A minimum of $900 while you're training with us and we're teaching you the business. I'm not going to get into great detail with that today, but we do that because what it really comes down to is I believe we have a compensation second to none. Because see, even at an entry-level position with our company, if you just help one family a week, you can make $40,000 a year part-time entry level. Is that good? Part-time, right? So if you were able to devote, 5-6 hours a week, maybe 10-15 hours a month, help learn, get trained, learn how to help one family a week, make $40,000 a year. What if you became a regional manager with us? You learned a little bit, improved. Here, well, that's $63,000 a year. You look, there's a lot of kids who come out of college today. Some of you know because you paid for their college, right? And they spent 4 years someplace, and they maybe come out and make $50,000 a year. Well, what if you could part-time learn a new business, one of the largest industries in the world, and make $60,000 a year helping one family a week? What if you became a vice president with us and did the same thing, made $80,000 a year? Now, that's if you just went out there and showed people how this thing works. Okay? But there's a whole nother side. So there's some people in the room that I know are appealed by, well, that's a great product, and I think everybody would want that. And you're right. And if I just help them, I can make some money here. But then there's others of you saying in here, well, you know what? There's 24 hours in a day. And everybody's got the same 24 hours. But if I can get you 3 people with me and we work together, I got a lot more hours. Right? If I got 10 people, don't we have 240 hours in a day? It's called bill distribution. So I want to bring you to another level here. I call it the builder's compensation. How does that work? Well, you become a leader, build a team. Now, this is not a very huge business here we're going to talk about. Continue helping 4 clients a month. You're a vice president, so you're making $6,700 a month, $80,000 a year. However, you teach 3 people how to do the same thing, and they just help 2 people a month. They're part-time. So my entire business is at a booth at Denny's. I want you to picture how small that business is, right? Me and 3 people. I'm helping 1 family a week, Catherine. They're each helping 2 a month. Watch this. That's $10,000 a month of income. That's a 6-figure income. That's $123,000 a year. It also qualifies you for our equity share points, what I won't get into in great detail today, but see what Freedom Equity has done, and we're going to have the chairman up here in a minute. We're blessed to have him here in the room and be able to speak to us. But here's the exciting thing about what we're talking about. Not only do you build a business for yourself and your family, what Freedom Equity Group says is if and when down the road we decide that we want to move on and we want to pass this on to another company, kind of like Fidelity and Guarantee, they sold their company, they still operate. So would Freedom Equity Group. We want to share 50% of those proceeds with the people who help us build it. My employer never told me that years ago. When I went to work, they never said, look, you keep working hard, you keep doing what I asked you to do, I'm going to share this company with you. I never heard that before. Okay? I've heard other companies who had build it, sell it, keep it. There are many companies out there who built it up, sold everybody a dream, and kept it all. I mean, I was part of a company, that company I told you about. I didn't get in that business till 1985. I was just a young kid, 1990. The only thing that changed was my business card. And, you know, the owner made a whole bunch of money, but everybody else was still... Like for me, the only change as I was out there working was my business card change, and nobody sent me any money. Okay? So we lose sight of those things, and that's not, as Ron says, that's the icing on the cake. But let me tell you what the real cake is here. It's an opportunity to build a business, and somebody's going to teach you how to do it, and it's never going to go out of style. I've been here for 33 years. People here have been here longer than me. You'll hear from the chairman who'll tell you. And at the end of the day, it's where this business can go for you. It's what you see. It's something that you can stake a claim in for a very, very long time. So I'm very honored to be in this business. I'm real honored to be part of Freedom Equity Group. And I want to tell you why I'm here just as I bring the chairman up here. Because, see, back in that first company I was with for the first 10 years of my life, from 85 to 95, and I made 6 figures there. I did okay by the standards of most people, and I did that after 2 years working part-time. Well, there was a guy that was always at the top of the charts. I didn't know him, but I knew his name. It was a guy named Ron Blumenkemper. And he was always up on the top of the charts. He was always building, making big money. He was featured speakers. When we go to conventions, When I'd look at the agenda, when he was speaking, I made sure I was in that workshop because I wanted to hear him speak, but I never actually met him. And then in 1995, I moved on and went a different direction. And back in 1999 was the first time I spoke to Ron Blumenkemper on the phone. He called me, he says, hey, you know, I forgot how we were introduced by somebody. Long story short, we started talking. I said, I know exactly who you are. I still have leaders' bulletins with your name on it. And he flew my wife and I out to Denver, and he says, I'd like you to work with me in my company, my broker-dealer. And I said, okay, but you know, in the first 5 seconds, I knew that this is a guy I could follow. And see, business is really all about leadership. You know, see, what we do is simple. I mean, you don't need Ryan or me or Mike or anybody to teach you, okay? You believe it or not, you can be self-taught real easily in this business. But without leadership, it's really hard, okay? It's much easier to not have to make your own mistakes by just following somebody who already made them all and said, look, I already cut all the trees down. I already put all the pavement in. Just go this way instead of trying to hike through the woods, right? So I had the privilege of working with Ron Blumenkemper since, so we've been friends for 20 years. We went separate ways for a little while, but here's my point. When he first started calling me about Freedom Equity Group back about 8 years ago, I pretty much could have gone anywhere. I wasn't ready to really dive back in, but he called me about every month, talk to me, how's the family, how's the kids, how are you? Once in a while, talk about business. And then one day, he said, I want to build our company and take it coast to coast. Well, my brain just exploded when I heard that. He said, I want to take it national. Will you help me? I'm in California right now. You're in Rhode Island. Let's build it. Maybe we'll meet in the middle someday. And that dream he sold me is why I joined this company. Truthfully, like many of you, we could be anywhere. But without leadership, there's nothing there. We're fortunate to have a leader of this company that cares about people, that wants people to win, that spends every day, every time I'm talking to him on the phone, including this morning at 7 a.m., he's telling me what he wants to do to help me succeed. Never once does he ask for himself. He's always asking about, what can I do to help you win? In so many words, all the time. We're very blessed, and you know, for those of you who don't know him, maybe you don't understand where I'm coming from, but he's going to speak to us for a few minutes this morning, or however long he wants, because he's got the mic when he's up here. So if you please help me welcome the chairman of Freedom Equity Group, Ron Blumenkemper. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that.
Am I on that live streaming thing? Could you maybe cut it off? I'm not good on it.
Want this, or you want this
I
one?
need to lose weight, other things. I look 10 pounds heavy.
No. The camera takes 20 pounds off.
You look good, man.
I just want to say this. Thank you, Al. Great job. Thank you, Michael. We have a great venue this afternoon, and the reason this is a special day for me is a couple of months ago, my partner called me and he said, I want to go talk to this guy in Houston. You ought to go with me. And I said, well, who is he? He said, well, his name's Dr. Siddiqui. We know him as Nasser. And I started researching the guy, and the reason I'm telling you all this is I think this is a way for the company to go vertical. I don't think I know, and I'll tell you why in just a second, but this afternoon we're going to go into it in detail. One of the things our company has been good at is teaching people how to sell products. One of the things we've been terrible at is teaching people how to grow their business the right way, spiritual way, how to treat other people. I know, Lindsay, you're an ordained minister. We talked about how to pray properly for the company, and we try and do the right things, but there's a lot of people that just sequentially don't know the steps it takes to build a business from the time you meet the guy to get him in the business. Now you're more interested in his success. It's good to talk about it, but we needed somebody professional. So I go to Houston to meet the guy real quick, and I started researching him, and I found out that he's on 36,000 TV stations in every country in the world, 5 different languages. And he's converted 1.5 million Muslims to Christians. And he was a Muslim. So obviously, I'm not going to entice this guy with money, okay? Matter of fact, I was in service when a guy walked up and gave him a check for $100 grand. I said, can you teach me that? Because there's no chargebacks on that. My point is, I went to this Christian Businessman's Network and I got involved in it and I started listening. And I started listening to principles about building the business the right way where it would last. There's a lot of guys in here that have tremendous talent, but I don't have the expertise to put it out there and make the right, proper thing. And he told me, he looked at our stuff, he said, you're selling your business the wrong way. I said, well, you're selling the icing on the cake, not the cake. Long story short, he said, your messaging's wrong. You got a great deal. He said, keep it simple.
Yeah.
And start talking about what it takes to recruit and build a business and how to keep them going and build a fence around it. Now, our previous company, he broke all the records in it. He made vice president, I think, in a month. It took me 11 months, and I was number one in the company at every level. Became an S industry, but so I said, look, could I ask you for your help? And he can get into it this afternoon, but we're going to go into detail this afternoon how we're fixing to take this company vertical. He's got 5,000 churches that call him to speak. The largest is 52,000 seats. So this guy, his job is taking 850 pastors to teach them how to build their congregation at church. Isn't that kind of what we're doing? Yeah. Building our business the right way to keep it going and make money and a profit at it. So I had no idea he was interested or thrilled, but he said the Lord spoke to him, and he's not here full time because there ain't no we could afford him, right? But he's the new president. What do I call you? President of Success Systems and Tools. Because we need a vision that's plain and simple people run toward. We got too many visions. We got too many selling too many products, right? So anyway, I want to just say a few words. But come back this afternoon, and we're going to talk about how to build this thing and get it to the next level. Couldn't have a better speaker. Could you say a few things, Asher?
Thank you. I found out about this like 36 hours ago. So we just jumped on a plane and came down and talked to I've got friends here in Houston. For those of you, how many of you have never heard me speak before? Lift up your hand. Where have you been? I have been looking everywhere for you. I'm sure glad I found you today. My name is Nasser Siddiqui. Good Irish name. No, it's not Irish. Just kidding. Just kidding. Of course, Bloom and I worked for a previous company, and it's the company that I'll talk about in a few minutes. But before I get into that, Al, I loved what you just shared about McDonald's and shared about systems. I have never seen a for sale sign on a McDonald's. I've never seen one. So we know something's going on. Let me start by sharing with you. I'm only going to talk a couple of minutes. I'm going to try and keep it to a couple of minutes. People don't build businesses. If you're building your business, you're in the old school. Come to 2018. What builds businesses today? Not people. People build systems. Systems build businesses. Why is the most successful business model all over the world a franchise? Because somebody sat down and built a system. And that system built the franchises all over the world. Are you getting a hold of this? You drive by a McDonald's every day. You have no clue who the owner is. But it don't matter who the owner is. They're going to make money whether you know the owner or not. Whether the owner shows up or not, they're going to make money. So I said all of that to tell you that I started to develop systems. And of course, we develop systems now on churches. We have churches. We have another church right here, Wisdom Church. The pastor's right here in Houston. So we developed systems to get people to grow. We develop systems. We're on 36,000 TV stations, Winning with Wisdom, Wisdom Ministries. We've got a Christian Business Network that Chairman was just talking about. We're teaching businessmen. One testimony, I'll share this with you. A man had his business in Youngstown, Ohio, doing $430,000 a year. Well, 4 years later, he's doing $15.7 million. The systems work? Yes, they work. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You say, well, that's all wonderful. What's that got to do with me? I'm in financial services. Okay. Backtrack. I was in financial services. How did I break every single record in the company that we were working together in? Number one, I developed a what? System. Oh, come on, talk to me. Went from zero brand new greenie recruit to RVP in 30 days. Turn to your neighbor and say, that ain't bad. Went from RVP to SVP in another 30 days. Turn to your neighbor and say, that ain't bad. In 13 months, I was already a national vice president, or the equivalent thereof, with that company, and built 12 frontline national vice presidents under me. Went on to be senior. Went on to break every single record. But why did it go like this? And he'll tell you, I broke every record in that company because nobody had moved that fast ever in the history of that company. Because I had a what? System. Now, how many of you would like to learn about a system? Come back this afternoon.
That's a tough act to follow. All right. Hey, we're gonna wrap this thing up here. But that's awesome. You know, I never had the pleasure of meeting Nasser until today, actually. But I was part of that company, and we just scratched our head all the time as to how quickly he just went right to the top. And in fact, Lindsay, you and I were talking about, says, well, you know, maybe he'll be a flash in the pan, right? I mean, we said some of those things too, because anytime somebody moves fast, it can't be because they work hard, right? It's got to be because they got lucky. But the reality of it is, he set all kinds of records in that company. So I obviously clearly knew the name. So we're fortunate to have you here. We really appreciate you and whatever time you can take with us to share. But that's right in line. So that, you know, while I was listening to him, I'm saying, yeah, I got hope. He said, all you got to do is follow system. That's easy. Right? I mean, it's easy. It's just the hard part is don't get bored doing the same thing over and over because it works, right? Well, anyhow, I just want to wrap it up. I just got a few more minutes with you today. You know, we have some new guests here, and what we want to do is, you know, I always look at things. I try to be strategic in the way I think, and you know, when you evaluate a business, there are a few things you have to consider, right? And this is a business, and the first thing is there a market for the product or service that I offer? So what do you think? Do you think there's a market for what we do? Right? I mean, if we were trying to sell heaters here in Houston, we got a problem, right? That's going to be a challenge, okay? But on the other hand, when you've got 200 million people in need of these solutions, you understand, Mike said earlier, there's somewhere between 150 and 200 million people. Only 3% of them have or know what the living benefits are. So there's a whole bunch of people that need our help, right? The second thing is there money to be made? Well, it's a $7 trillion industry. And if you only got, you know, 3 or 4%, I say here 5% that actually know what living benefits are, there's a whole lot of money to be made in this industry if you're willing to learn and do some things. And the last one is, can I do it? Well, of course you can. It's not a question of can I, it's a question of will you. It's a question of, are you willing? You know, I talk to my kids this way all the time because I feel this way. You willing to sacrifice for a couple of years, 2, 3, 4 years, maybe 5 years to live the rest of your life comfortably? Or do you want to live the 40-year plan that statistically flat doesn't work? Okay? I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, but the bottom line is, can you do it? We know you can. It's a question of, will you make the commitment to say, yes, I'm willing to sacrifice some things. And here's what I mean, folks. You know, Ron will tell you this here. And look, I haven't had huge success in this business, but I've achieved some goals over the years. And here's how it always started. Ron, we were talking about it this morning on the phone. It just kind of came up in conversation. When I first decided to get back with Ron at Freedom Equity with the first 2 years, I hardly took a day off. I didn't take any vacations. I mean, you know, I didn't play golf, and I love to play golf. Not great at it, but I love to play it. But for 2 years, I just had my head down. Now, I'm not saying I didn't take some time here or there. I remember sitting with my wife. It was the first meeting I had. And she's here today. It was a 3-hour meeting. We were crying, excited. She was crying happy that I was getting back in the business. That's why she was crying, right? Which is good, because that's where I've had all the success I've had, has been in this business. But it was like, hon, I need you to pick up the pieces. You know, we have now who's about to be a 16-year-old who at that time was 11. And I said, I'm going to need to miss some stuff. I can't really build a successful business without, I can't be at everything. So for a couple of years, you got to cover me. Okay? I sat with my son and I explained to him what Dad had to do. And I haven't had mega wealth, and this is not about me. What I'm saying is, when I talk to people on the phone and people ask me for help and they want to be successful, and I don't know that I've paid a price. I've made every decision. I wanted to do it. Okay? I don't understand how people think. You know, how are things going to change if you can't flood it with and focus your mind for a couple of years? You don't have to do it forever, but for a couple of years. And I'm not just talking about this business. I'm talking about any business. Okay? But you can have mega wealth here if that's what you want. But you can certainly have the freedom. So, with that said, here's my last question for you. If you're new here today, can you think of any reason why you shouldn't move forward? And if it's no, then let's get started. Here's your major investment. Are you ready? We have a one-time technology fee of $125. That's it. That gives you the tools, that gives you the website. That's just the beginning. We get you started there. You can do that today. You don't have to do that today. This isn't like timeshare. No offense if anybody does that. This is a real business with real opportunity. What's more important is that we have time to get together with you one-on-one with the person who invited you here. And you need to sit with them and really share your plans with them. You as the leader or trainer, you need to identify what those people really want to do. And once you identify that, you can formulate a plan. So lastly, I'd like to say we're going to wrap up a little bit early today. We've been live streaming. I want to thank Nolan Davis, who has guests here today. He's one of our agents at Freedom Equity Group, newly licensed guy about a month ago. He's invited some people here today. I appreciate you being here and listening to this story. This is going out. I think he's willing to do some interviews back there later. If anybody would like to, he's videoed this. If you want to just kind of stop by the microphone, tell them what you thought about this meeting today. We've got people in the Northeast. Hey guys, appreciate you being on today. We've got people in Chicago. We've got people in different parts of the country that watched this whole meeting this morning live. And I also think that's 2018, where we can get to a lot more people. It doesn't have to be all one-on-one. We can take advantage of virtual. We can build something pretty special here, and we can help a lot of families by giving them the information they need. So with that said, if you're new here, my beautiful wife there is going to pass out an evaluation sheet. If you thought the speakers were good, you were talking about me. If you didn't like the speakers, then you're talking about somebody else. But seriously, if you would, just give us your opinion. There's a few things here we're going to ask you, what you saw here, but we do value what you thought about this session this morning and how it may have impacted you in any way, shape, or form. So again, I thank you. We're gonna wrap it right here. Nolan, you got to do some interviews back there for us. We're gonna take an early break for lunch. Okay, we need to be back here. Let's because we wrapped up a little bit early. Let's be back here at 1:15. Those of you who are planning to spend the afternoon with us, if you're a guest and you only planned on the morning, we understand that. Just schedule a time to meet with us if you choose to one-on-one at some point in time. But other than that, we'll be back here. Let's be back here at 1:15 so we can start promptly, okay? Thanks, everybody. Hope it was a good morning for you.
Hold on.
Just took it back. I had to set it up and everything. You know what I'm saying? You want to do
here like we did earlier.
Yeah, we gotta turn on. Oh, you switched it back? Yeah. All right, turn the mic on.
Check.
It's on.
Check.
It's on. All right. All right. Hopefully you guys have tuned in. If you're just now tuning in, we were talking about building wealth, protecting your assets, and taxable free income. How do you do that? Everybody I talk to majority of the time is business owners. A lot of those guys are watching this right now. They're usually up here with me. We're going to try to talk to a couple of people to see how they liked it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes people are shy of the camera. I do have a couple of people here myself, some people that you probably have seen me with before, so they're definitely in the room. So we're going to see who we can get to come over here. I know we have Miss Nancy. Miss Nancy, are you over here? Come on over here really fast to get the ball rolling. I saw you walking around earlier. We were trying to get some, here, hold the mic, talking there. How are you today?
I'm pretty good.
Pretty good? I know you're a part of FEG. What did you like about what you saw today?
Oh, I just love everything about FEG. I've been with them for 3 years.
Okay.
And I love being able to help people with the products.
Okay.
And I love my clients getting back with me and being very excited that they are no longer losing money in their retirement savings plans.
Okay.
And, you know, I just love FEG. They're wonderful to me, and I don't know what else to say.
Okay, no problem. Were you aware of the new products that you guys had that was introduced? Okay.
I was.
Talking to the mic for me.
I do already have clients in the new Freedom program.
Got you.
And they're so excited.
Okay.
Because, we're keeping an eye on it and watching the balances, and every time the market goes down a little bit, they take a look, and they're so excited that their account doesn't go down.
Absolutely. So with you being in FEG for 3 years, tell me about, do you have any success stories?
Every client is successful.
Boom.
It makes me feel
every client
successful.
is okay. All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you.
Let me get somebody else over here. Nice seeing you.
So good to see you.
Nice to see you as well. All right. Let's see who we can get over here. I think people are breaking for lunch. That's what it looks like. I know they're coming back later on today. This is just going to be the stream for right now. Okay, we got some people over here. Mike absolutely killed it up there. Mike,
thank you, sir.
Great job, sir. Great job. A lot of great information for a lot of the viewers that are out there.
Awesome.
You did an excellent job putting it out there, really relating to a lot of people. Who do we have over here?
This is a good friend of mine. His name's Orlando. He represents the Latino community here in Houston.
Okay.
Which obviously that's a big part of what we do too, right? We want to help all the communities all around the world, or all around the country. Orlando has been very, very important in that community. So I wanted to bring him over here. He's got a lot to say. Great guy. I know you guys to hit it off, right?
Okay.
But you may have to come down just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. All right, buddy.
Orlando,
Hi.
how are you?
Good, you?
Hey, I'm doing well here, talking to the mic. So, you speak Spanish?
Yes, sir.
Fluent?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I need you to tell everybody the whole 2-hour speech right now in Spanish, in here, and go.
Ok. Buenos días, mi nombre es Orlando Mayorga, estoy con FI ya 2 años y es una compañía increíble, estamos representando las mejores compañías del mundo, estamos ayudando a la comunidad, algo que necesitan saber ellos acerca de los beneficios en vida, porque mucha gente no se da cuenta de esto. Ahora mismo mi invitado me estaba diciendo que él tiene ya seguro, pero no tiene beneficios en vida. Así que creo que vamos a traer este mensaje a la comunidad. Los invito a todos los hispanos a que se unan a nosotros para que tengan una seguridad mientras viven, y si mueren su familia está cubierta Y si no pasa nada, van a tener un retiro muy feliz, libre de impuestos. Así que gracias, jóvenes. Buenos días. Bye.
That wasn't 2 hours, Orlando. I needed the whole 2 hours. No, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. How long have you been with FEG?
Okay, with FEG, 2 years.
2 years?
I took it seriously like 6 months ago.
Okay.
And I went and passed my test, and I started doing business. I already have 12 clients.
Okay.
They got approved and everything.
Gotcha.
Now they cover. I'm glad because they cover. It's a good feeling.
Absolutely.
When you know that somebody, if they die, the family's gonna have something to go on. That's great.
Gotcha.
That's great. My own. I have my own policy. My wife and my 2 kids.
Sure.
And my grandkid.
Okay.
So now we all cover, and we know we're going to do great things with this company. We're working on that. I have a friend right here today. He came. My first liner invited him. Now he'll be my second liner. We're going to work together. We're going to do great things. We're going to help a lot of people because this is about helping people.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Absolutely. Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's about it. Orlando, thank you so much for stopping by, man. Thank you so much. So I think we have somebody else over here that wants to get on. She was standing over here. Ma'am, are you ready? All right, all right. And your name?
I'm Alice.
Alice.
AKA Alice from Dallas.
Alice from Dallas here talking to the
Am I
mic.
holding this?
Yes, absolutely,
Are we
absolutely.
streaming now?
We are streaming right now.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Right, so there is
thank
no
you.
right. There is no cut, no going back, no
That's what
edit.
streaming means.
Right, we
It
live
just keeps
right
going
now.
on and on
Exactly,
and on. And I'm so happy because guess what, Facebook family, you don't want to miss this event. If you're not tuned in yet, you need to be.
Boom.
Because this information is truly life changing.
Yes.
And I'm so appreciative of you guys recording for a lot of our team around the country that couldn't be here today.
Yes.
But now they are.
Absolutely,
Now they
absolutely. So it is going to be on that Up Social Live.
Okay.
So anybody who didn't see it, all you got to do is connect them to it.
Yes, sir.
So why do you love FEG so much? Talk to me.
Woo, let me tell you this.
Okay.
5 years going strong. When I first looked at FEG in Las Vegas, January 13th, 2013, I knew immediately it was an answered prayer. I did not finish Indiana University.
Okay.
Didn't quite make it out. I started, but I didn't finish. So no degree, no formal training, but an opportunity in an industry that pays out billions of dollars with no limits and no caps, and I can pay it forward and change other lives. That's FEG.
Okay.
The transparency of the ownership, Ron Petrinovich, Ron Blumenkemper, and Bill St. Clair, my brothers from another mother. Their honesty, their integrity, men of great character. That's why FEG. And the fact that we offer to families products that can help protect their greatest assets and be rewarded the best commission in the industry and now advance on submission. That's why FEG.
Now, if you're just tuning in right now, if you missed it, if you hear what she's saying, you got to go back and watch the whole thing. Is there anything you want to leave with Miss Alice from Dallas?
Let me tell you, if you were like me if you are like I was on your knees praying for a way out, praying for an opportunity, I'm not saying this might be it to make a career out of it for the rest of your life, but I promise you, if you want to earn an extra $50,000 to $100,000 this year, take a very close look. We're in Dallas, Texas. I'm Alice Comer, aka Alice from Dallas. But there's some great leaders here, which I commend, and I'm telling you, reach out to us, because we can definitely help you turn that bad situation around very quickly. Thank you so much, Nolan, for allowing me to share.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you.
I'm a hugger.
All right, all right.
Thank you.
All right.
Can I give a shout out? I'm
Absolutely.
sorry to Team Legacy.
Okay.
Okay, see my shirt? We're all about building a legacy for our families. You see my shirt.
I just wanted to kind of get in there as well.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
All right, Miss Alice from Dallas. Angelica. Hey, Miss Angelica, how are you today?
Excellent.
All right, here, let me give you this.
Thank
Let me-
you.
Now, you speak Spanish as well.
Absolutely.
I was asking Orlando to remember everything that was said for the 2 hours and then convert it into Spanish. So he brought you over here. So you must gonna give that whole 2-hour speech in Spanish right now and go.
Yes. Hola, ¿cómo están, amigos? Bueno, mi nombre es Angélica Fombón. Yo represento al equipo FEG Latinos Team y Latinos Team. Y sí, efectivamente, Freedom Equity Group es la oportunidad para todos. Es no solamente que sí, de dónde vengo, es a dónde voy. Le explico. Hace 3 años yo incursé en esta empresa. Alguien me dio la oportunidad. Gracias, Ron Bloom. Me lo explicaron 5 minutos. No entiendo mucho en inglés. Hablaba poco y me frustraba, pero hay algo que sí entendí, que esta era la única oportunidad que yo tenía de hacer algo diferente y tener resultados completamente diferentes. Soy una madre de 5 pequeños, 2 de ellos con necesidades especiales. Los amo, los adoro, pero no voy a hablar de mí, sino de mi porqué. Y el porqué muchas veces tiene nombre y a veces te dice mamá, pero si tu porqué va más allá, tú necesitas venir y escuchar quién es Freedom Equity Group. Freedom Equity Group es una de las IMO más importantes a nivel nacional. ¿Por qué? Porque solo representamos a las mejores compañías de los Estados Unidos. ¿Okay? Las mejores, única y exclusivamente han elegido trabajar con las compañías que tienen beneficios en vida. Para ustedes, beneficios en vida es una palabra nueva. Pero déjeme decirle, living benefits en inglés o beneficios en vida quiere decir que nosotros estamos no con la antigua aseguradora, no con aseguradoras que solamente están cubriéndole a usted por si usted fallece, porque si alguien está pagando el reclamo, quiere decir que una persona ya no está aquí. Nosotros somos, así como la telefonía, ya nadie usa el teléfono que se abría así, ahora usamos un smartphone, una marca inteligente. Bueno, todo ha cambiado. Ahora los seguros se han modificado. El seguro de vida ahora le está cubriendo realmente en vida. Cubrimos si alguna persona se enferma. ¿Qué estamos cubriendo? Cáncer, ataque al corazón, insuficiencia renal, embolia, ceguera, parálisis, esclerosis múltiple. Estamos cubriendo por SIDA, estamos cubriendo por quemaduras de alto grado, estamos cubriendo también golpes severos, deshabilidad de un órgano, por llamar algunas. ¿Por qué? Porque tenemos 16 y en algunas compañías hasta 17. ¿Qué pasa entonces si fallezco a temprana edad? Que estoy cubierto. ¿Qué pasa si me enfermo? Que estoy cubierto y la aseguradora me va a dar una parte de eso por lo que yo me aseguré para yo vivir tranquilamente. ¿Por qué? No es lo mismo que usted se enferme y tenga una forma de cubrir sus necesidades médicas y sus gastos de bolsillos, así como seguir pagando su hipoteca o su renta o los gastos de sus hijos. No es lo mismo si yo me deshabilito temporal o permanentemente. ¿Por qué? Porque entonces voy a ir con mi aseguradora, voy a hacer el reclamo y ellos me van a cubrir. Vuelvo y repito, esto puede ser temporal o puede ser permanente. Así de simple, estamos cubriendo, vuelvo y repito, si fallezco pronto, ojalá y no, a nadie le gusta morirse, ¿verdad? ¿Qué me cubre más? Si me enfermo, ¿qué más me está cubriendo? Me cubre deshabilidad temporal o permanente y así también como cuando me dan un diagnóstico que no quiero escuchar. ¿Sabe qué? Entré a operarle de, no sé, el páncreas, todo está bien ahí, pero he encontrado que a usted le quedan menos de 24 meses de vida. ¿Qué significa? Me están dando una noticia que tengo una enfermedad terminal. Si eso ocurre, nuestra compañía también le va a cubrir y le va a decir, te entrego de una vez parte de este beneficio porque lo necesitas. ¿Para qué? Para heredar en vida a todas las personas que amamos, para pagar la hipoteca antes de tiempo, para estar tranquilo y, ¿por qué no?, hasta para recuperarme. Así es como nosotros estamos trabajando. Perdón, yo hablo muy rápido, I'm sorry. Estoy hablando no solamente por mí, estoy hablando por toda la comunidad hispana, porque les damos oportunidad a todos. Yo no hablaba inglés, ahora me expreso un poquito Pero déjeme decirlo, nuestro equipo está constituido de peruanos, de salvadoreños, guatemaltecos, tenemos también Panamá, tenemos Puerto Rico, tenemos muchísimos asociados. Usted solo tiene que venir con alguno de nosotros, preguntar, asistir a una junta como la que tuvimos hoy, grandiosa. No necesita estar en otros estados. Yo tengo conocidos en Illinois, tengo conocidos en Virginia, tengo conocidos en Georgia. En fin, yo puedo trabajar desde aquí, desde Texas, con todos mis asociados en otros estados y no necesito justamente estar presente
I've lost
allá.
all control.
¿Sí?
Boom. You see that? Boom. You see that?
FEG Latinos.
Okay, all right. I told her to give me the whole 2-hour thing, and I was just playing. I didn't think she really remembered it all. But I'm back now. I'm Nolan Davis here, live at FEG. Give it up. Bow. All right. Who else do we have in line? Who else do we have? All right, you ladies want to come together?
I'm just here. Come on, we're going to do talking.
You're going to do the talking. I need a talker now. I got a microphone. All right. So what did you guys like about everything you saw today?
Oh, phenomenal.
Phenomenal?
Everything was phenomenal.
Okay.
Everybody needs what we have. It really is a business.
Hold on one second. Miss Catherine. Get Catherine for me. I'm sorry. I have something for her, and she's about to leave, but go ahead.
Okay.
Everybody needs a business.
Everybody needs not just the business, but the services that we have.
Yes.
The tax-free retirement. Everybody's got to retire.
Okay.
They need the tax-free retirement.
Yes.
They need the knowledge.
Absolutely.
Especially in our community, they need the knowledge of what we have. You're gonna live. You may get sick, and most of the time nowadays people are getting sick, and they live a long time sick.
Right.
But they don't have what they need to take care of themselves.
Okay.
So we have the products that will allow them to have that. If you're looking for a fantastic business where you can make monies and leave generational wealth, which is what you heard him just talk about,
yes,
we have the tools for that.
Okay.
So we're looking for some agents that want to change their lives, and we are here to help train and grow them. And I mean, gee, this is an opportunity that doesn't come along every day.
I got you.
You know, and to educate our community.
Educate, because there are a lot of people that I've talked with, interviewed. They have policies, but they have no idea what's in their policies.
Right.
They were sold a policy, and just because the person that sold it to them told them that you have coverage now, they don't know some of the policies, especially the whole life. They don't know that at a certain point they're not going to have insurance. So this is one thing that I appreciate about our product. We educate people in what you're going to get. We let you know from the very beginning what's there for you and what your policy will consist of. All of the coverage, everything. So that's one thing I really love about it, is the educational aspect. The information on financial literacy.
Yes.
So I just thank God for the program. It's really been an eye-opener for me, and I'm enjoying it so much.
Okay.
And today, this is one of my first.
This is our first.
This is my first event.
Okay.
And I love it. I enjoyed it. It's been so eye-opening and so helpful.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank y'all for coming and videoing and putting it on. I don't do Facebook. So
Okay.
help me.
Hello to all my Facebook
This is the
friends.
Facebook queen back here.
Okay. All right.
But
Did you share the link?
I did.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Is it going to be recorded so
It
it
is.
still
It
be
is.
there?
It will be still on Facebook. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
God
all so
bless
much
you.
for the,
Thank you.
absolutely. Miss Catherine, did you want to come up here and speak really fast?
Sure.
All right. Come on. I almost ran out of here to go get you. I was screaming your name, and you walked straight up. I had to send people. This is Catherine, that you've seen me on here before with a lot of times.
Hi, baby.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
So how did you like everything today?
It was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. I love, I love the systems.
Yes, I knew that.
Love the processes. Like that it's about people. And I love that there's opportunity to be a team. I love the team aspect of it, and I love the fact that it's a product that not everybody has.
Absolutely.
So yes, I really enjoyed it, and actually, I had told Al that I'm going to talk to a few people that probably would be good doing this.
Okay. So the reason I like it is because the influx of all the money that we have, that's why you're here.
Yes.
This is now the education we need to make sure our stuff is tax-free.
Absolutely.
It's an
And I
influx
like
of a
tax-free.
lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
A lot. I didn't want to say nothing, but it's
Very
a lot.
true.
I mean, it's
Very
a lot.
true. And
So
it will be more.
It will be. I mean, it is
Each
growing.
month.
It
Each
is
month.
growing
It is.
every month.
Yes.
I was about to say that because you're a part of it too.
I am.
I know you are. I know you are.
I'm on your downline.
Absolutely,
We talk
absolutely.
like every day. Yep.
Absolutely. So hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. People are leaving for lunch. I'm hungry as hell. I should get lunch too. This is Catherine. You want to say bye, Catherine?
Goodbye. I'm Catherine Pierce. My company's Beyond Business Coaching, and I'm also in New You Life with Nolan.
Absolutely. And I'm Nolan Davis. We're Up Social Live. And until next time, love to live to love, and be well.